In this video, we're going to do a handlebar modification to the RS5 Roadrunner Max, which is going to allow us to put mirrors on it without extending the width of the handlebars. Let's check it out. Hey guys, it's Scooter King, and in this video, we're going to be modifying our brand new Roadrunner RS5 Max. And it's already got a really nice cockpit with some really premium components. So we don't want to change any of that, but we do want to add some mirrors to it. But the one thing we don't want to do is extend the width of the handlebars. So the handlebars are perfect in that regard, everything is great. But if we put mirrors on the ends like here, this is going to extend the width of the handlebars dramatically. And that's going to be a problem if we're in traffic, because we're already at about 26 inches. So with mirrors, we're looking at almost 3 feet. So that's a little unrealistic if we're, cutting in and out of traffic and stuff like that. I don't want to take somebody's mirrors out or have their mirrors take mine out. And I want these to be fairly secure. So for example, if the scooter ever falls down or whatever, it hits these securely, like squarely. I don't want it taking out a bunch of hardware like mirrors and things like that. So we need a way to get some perspective and some mirrors so we can see traffic behind us without cluttering up the cockpit, without making the width of the handlebars any wider. So in this video, we're going to use an extension bar, and these are inexpensive. I'm going to leave all of this stuff in the links below so that you can check it out if you decide to do the same mod yourself. This is like the entire mod really is probably under 30 bucks, and it is a really quick and inexpensive way to add some mirrors to your overall ride without cluttering up the existing cockpit and without adding a bunch of weight and stuff. So this is just a regular aluminum extension bar, and we're going to put it right about there in front of the handlebars. And they're going to go on these little brackets here, and this is going to go around the handlebars here, and it's going to sit down here about like that. And that's going to allow us to basically extend our handlebars by a couple of inches. But it also gives us another mounting surface as well, so we can put additional components on it down the road if we choose to. But the most important part of this is that it's super lightweight, and we're going to pair this with some incredibly lightweight mirrors in addition. Now, this isn't like, we're not talking about like a dirt bike assembly here. These are lightweight on purpose, and they're already adjustable. So these are great. They're a great size. They're really just the perfect size and addition. And with that, that's going to allow us to have handlebar mirrors underneath the handlebars without having to go way out to the side. And I don't want them sticking way up either, like they do on a moped, like where they're way up here in the air like that. So this bar comes with these brackets included, and they've got little spacers on the inside here. These are like little plastic spacers, and they fit inside here. So they can fit a fairly large variety of handlebars. But mountain bike handlebars like the ones that are on the RS5 Max get pretty thick down here by the base. So they can fit down there, but it really makes these a lot bigger. And since this is an 11-inch bar, we want these to be further out to the side like this, not right there by the handlebars, because we might also want to put some other accessories here in the future as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of electrical tape around the area that we want these to go on. And that's mostly just to make sure that we don't mar up the handlebars, although the plastic's not likely to do that. But more importantly, since the brackets are made to fit a wide variety of handlebars, they're a little loose on here, even tightened all the way down. So we're going to put a little bit of electrical tape on here just to make up the difference and keep these nice and snug. And they're just going to take a couple of winds right around the spot where that bracket is going to go. Now, there's another reason we chose this bar. It's super, super cheap. But that's not the reason. The reason is because a lot of the better made bars actually have the ends spot welded so that they're closed. And we need to get into those ends. We need this to be open like it is on the end of a pair of handlebars. So that's the reason why we didn't choose more expensive, bars like these, because these guys have these little end caps that just pop out. And that allows us to basically just take that out completely. And then we get basically just an aluminum tube. But that's important because that allows us to put the mirrors inside the tube, just like on a pair of handlebars. So now that we have the tape about where we need it to be for our bracket, we'll go ahead and open up the bracket. And this part is pretty straightforward. The little plastic tube, insert thing here, it just sits around where you're going to put them. And then the bracket opens up and goes around that. And this is just mostly so that, if you got a nice pair of handlebars or you got a pair of carbon fiber, bars or whatever, you don't want to chew them up. The plastic inserts help with that. So we repeat the same process for the one on the other side, and we snug that guy up. But before we tighten it all the way, we want to leave both of them a little loose just so that we can move them around a little bit, because we need a little play in here, because this guy needs to slide through the ends. So there are little pieces that come with it that go around the bar like that you tighten and put in here, but we're not going to use them, mostly because it adds a little too much play, meaning we can move it around a little bit. So even though it'll be metal to metal, it's going to be a much more secure fitting, and we're not going to move this around or take it apart. Once these are in, they're in to stay. So we're going to put the first one in first, and we're going to move the bracket out so that we can kind of get a square sort of head-on part to it. And then same with the other one, we just move it up into place here, move the component wire out of the way, and then just slide it in. Now that we got the bars firmly assembled and everything is tightened down, and this is pretty lightweight aluminum, so just remember, you don't have to reef on this stuff. If you do, you're going to go right through to strip it. So, hand tension is more than enough. And then we're ready for the mirrors. And these guys are great. They really just slip in. They've got a little rubber grommet around the outside that keeps things nice and quiet once it's in there. And this just expands once you tighten the screw down. So this makes it super easy to install, and it fits right in the ends of these. I'll loosen them up just a hair. They've got little rubber bands around the outside that kind of hold them together while it's expanding. And then once you tighten them down here, they just expand to fill the bar. And there we go. We got a totally adjustable mirror. We can set it exactly the way we need it when we ride. And it doesn't obscure our grip, which is the most important thing. With the thumb throttle, we can still see clearly as a line of sight when we're up on the scooter. And we're set for the other one as well. So let's get the other side in there. And then we just adjust it until it's nice and snug. And like I said, these are lightweight parts. The mirrors are plastic backed, so none of the stuff has to really be cranked down. It's more than enough. It's super lightweight as it is, so it doesn't add a ton of weight to the scooter. And more importantly, it's inside the dimensions of the handlebar. So if you take a spill or if this ends up falling down to the ground, you're not constantly replacing your mirrors, and they don't constantly take a dive and tank these things. And these are fully adjustable where they are right now. So you can really set them up perfectly for whatever your field of vision needs to be. And the finished result is a really nice way to improve your visibility without extending your mirrors beyond your handlebars. This keeps it nice and compact, allows you to dart in and out of traffic without having to worry about taking somebody's mirror out with your mirrors. Once you adjust them to taste, you get a nice clear view of what's going on behind you. And they stick out more than enough to see on either side. So that makes for a really nice clear view of the road behind you, but it doesn't really obscure the cockpit that you already got, and it doesn't stick out on the side of the handlebars either. So there's an inexpensive and super easy modification that you can do really to any scooter. This particular one happens to be a Roadrunner RS5 Max or any of the Roadrunner line. It's a really nice way to add some additional, view and perspective from behind without actually having to put it on the end of the handlebars. And if this takes a dive, it doesn't take all your mirrors out with it, and it doesn't clutter up the already nicely styled cockpit of your ride. Hey, if you learned something or if this was helpful in any way, please hit the subscription and notification bells. It really does help keep a young channel like this going. It helps me make more videos like this. Ride safe, have fun. We'll catch you guys in the next video.